This will probably be the last time we'll be performing with our own show at Wembley.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love. You never take advice. Someday you...
Polystyrene is put down to form an insulation between the floor and the ice. So we're not putting energy into cooling the floor down. We're putting the energy into turning the water into ice. Polythene sheeting is put on top of the polystyrene to protect the polystyrene, save us ruining it every time we take it out. The pipes then are laid on top of the polythene. We fill between the pipes with sand, a nice level sand area. The reason we use sand is just for bulk. The sand acts as a sponge, holds the water there, whilst we're freezing the sand and water mix down. Once the sand and water mix is frozen, we then just spray water down on top of it and build up a layer of ice on top of the sand and water. We then paint it. We spray it with whitewash. Shave it back with our ice machine that we carry around with us. So then it's all ready for skating. Hopefully rehearsals on Wednesday morning.
Yeah, it's a bit hard still, Keith. Are they softening it a bit?
Let me tell you a truism of making ice rink. No water, no ice.
Someday you'll pay the price, I know. I've seen it before, it happens all the time. You're closing the door, you leave the world behind. You're digging for gold, you're throwing away a fortune and feelings, but someday you'll
Thank you both for speaking to Sports Page. First of all, perhaps I can ask you, is this really going to be your last farewell tour?
I'm doing it for Television New Zealand and Channel 9 Australia.
All right.
So, Jane, Christopher, why the decision to cease skating commercially?
It's not that we're...
Guys, sorry, we both our buses have just gone down. Can we go get another one out of the car?
Okay.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay, sorry about this.
Which one?
Sorry about that. Okay, sorry, we'll start again. I'll ask the same question again.
Paradise, but someday you'll pay the price, I know. I've seen it before, it happens all the time. You're closing the door, you leave the world behind. You're digging for gold, you're throwing away a fortune and feelings, but someday you'll pay.
We always wanted to have our own company of skaters that we could choreograph as opposed to going into some existing show that would give us, you know, more artistic freedom and what we're presenting that we'd be happy about as opposed to being a part of somebody else's show.
Mike? Mike! Can we do Let's Face the Music?
Go to the beginning?
Yeah.
It's a long time in the planning and preparation and then actually performing it and seeing it through. And it's something like a 2-year project or 3-year project usually. And we felt that we wanted to do one last one. And this is it.
This is like the 4th big tour that we've done. But this time we're not working with another company. We put this company together and we feel that it's the strongest show, having learned from the experience of the last 10 years.
You know, 6 days a week, performing more numbers than we would in a whole year, possibly, in competition. So the amount of work that we do now, the physical work, is harder too, and also the responsibility of, you know, a production like this.
Okay, we're not going to pass each other.
Yeah. Create more space.
You know that you are as cold as ice to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats as the performance will commence in 1 minute.
It gets tiring, but you know, it becomes a way of life too. That the performing that keeps us going. You know, each night when you go out, you get such an adrenaline rush, and you can't replace that. You know, that's why we're still doing it, because we get that enjoyment of performing and entertaining. Can you put the air conditioning on? That tonight, Scott? Yeah. Oh, good one. We're doing this, you know, 6 days a week, performing more numbers than we would in a whole year.
It's too late to back out.
That's it now, huh?
Have a good one.